Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Lane and Justin. We're back with our second week of our podcast. We are going to be talking about Flash and Arrow and the Spider-Man coming to Marvel.
Yeah, our notes seem to be very comic book centric this week.
Well, it's hard for it not to be when Spider-Man comes to Marvel's
Yeah, that's very true.
the
People
cinematic
did not see that
universe.
coming. I mean, if it shocks Hugh Jackman,
Yeah, if that'll never happen. So it's just nothing to worry about. I still think that somehow they're gonna fit him into Avengers even after the credits or something. I don't think they're
what
gonna.
Age of Ultron?
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna wait till after.
I see it being post credits.
Yeah, I don't see
Something
them
like.
waiting until Civil War unless they're gonna reshoot a lot of things, which I
I
just.
mean, cause what, like two or three trailers for Ultron already came out, and then like I feel like if they went back and like reshot scenes, because apparently for the TMNT movie that came out, like I guess people were pissed that an Asian guy wasn't being Shredder, so they had to go back and reshoot the guy that was supposed to be Shredder with the new generic Shredder, and
Really?
it was just super awkward. So
That's weird. I mean,
I don't want them to do that to an Avengers movie,
he's
which
definitely not gonna be in the movie. That's way too late. But I could see them.
I can see like a line of dialogue like, oh, like that web slinger from
From,
Manhattan, or I don't even
yeah,
know.
maybe. It's definitely cool that they're. I was reading today that like Marvel is basically making the Spider-Man movie by themselves, and Sony just has to okay it. Basically, they have like no input on what's being like.
Well, then why
This,
they get to okay it?
well, they get to like it's so they can't like kill off Spider-Man after
Oh yeah,
like
that would be a dick move.
yeah,
Well,
like obviously
Marvel wouldn't do that.
they wouldn't do that, but still have to give him
Marvel
like
at some point is going to be able to buy him back probably if they really wanted to.
yeah, just for the so they don't like do anything so stupid that they're like yeah, I don't think so. It's like I don't think you should be killing off Peter Parker.
Grave mistake, Sony. Grave mistake.
You don't want to give it back to us? We'll just kill him off. That'd be so funny if they like they couldn't obviously get away with that. That'd be funny.
I don't know. They could make it in like the comics he dies or something, and then they make it in the movie version, and then like he doesn't come back until they've acquired the rights at some point, and then
Well,
miraculously Peter Parker's back a decade later, like a rehashing story.
Peter
That
Parker
way,
did die in the comics.
oh yeah, when I forget when.
I'm not sure when in the comics. I'm not.
Way to set that up, and then
Well, I mean, I'm just
that
meant
would be
like well,
funny.
that's why there's Miles Morales or whatever.
I think so, yeah.
Just
So the
because,
so the whole different time Spider-Man thing,
yeah.
Spider-Man 2099 or whatever the hell I played in the Beanox games.
I were those games even good? Like I don't even
They
get.
looked good. They played all right. Story and mechanics were kind of all right. Sometimes when you like climb up the wall, like he would freak the fuck out and he couldn't do it. So like I don't know, there was still work to be done, but all in all, I had fun with them. I mean,
It's gonna make fucking Hawkeye pointless in any Avengers movie. He's gonna be so like.
Hawkeye already was useless, or like
I mean, I guess yeah.
Josh Whedon was like, "What the hell do I do with this guy to make him like cool? Like, I guess I'll make him evil for the first time."
He's the only one they could have made evil, really.
That's not true.
Well,
Well, Hulk.
I mean, I guess they could have made
Well,
Hulk, but
the whole thing that we projected beforehand was like the Avengers had to team up to take out the raging Hulk like across New York, right?
that's how it's gonna be in this Avengers, I believe, in
That's
Age of
some.
Ultron. Because I'm pretty sure not Quicksilver, Scarlet Witch, like takes over his brain or whatever the hell she does. I don't even know.
I
And
thought she was like telekinesis. She might have telepathy too. I don't know.
that's why that's why they have the Hulkbuster armor because they have to stop
Well,
the
that was
Hulk or
that's
whatever.
just like a precaution thing. That's kind of like Batman's whole thing. Hey, did you watch the Doom movie, like an animated one?
No, why? What do you
It
have?
was like all the like Flash villains like Mirror Master like broke into the Batcave and stole like he hacked the Bat computer, and Batman had like made like a failsafe for the Justice League, so he had like the perfect ways to take down every member of the Justice League, and then the villains ended up acting that out. So like Bane found out Bruce's identity, like buried him alive, and then like Wonder Woman, they like, shot her with like some adrenaline thing, so she kept seeing every person she saw ended up being like Cheetah, who's her main rival. So she kept fighting everything and like beating the shit out of random people, and basically the adrenaline would eventually kill her. She'd eventually like die because of fatigue.
I
And it
never
was like
understood. I never
crazy.
understood how like obviously Batman's like one of the coolest heroes, but he's so out of place in DC's like all their characters.
But he's really not.
Well, there's way overpowered. What's like I don't when they make a Justice League movie, they have to Superman has to be taken out early.
That's like saying, what? How the hell is Iron Man beating the Hulk? Are you just gonna chalk it up to machinery?
Well, I mean, Superman's the gayest hero in the comics.
He's just too overpowered. Yeah. Even in Injustice too.
Like
he's easily the best one in Injustice too. They probably tried to dumb him down. They're like, the guy has everything. Like, what are we gonna do?
Like,
not give him freeze breath? Like,
I don't know what you do to the Hulk, or not the Hulk. What you do to Superman to have him like I guess you're gonna have Lex Luthor have a bunch of fucking whatever it's called, kryptonite, just to stop him. I don't know.
I'm kind of glad like the Man of Steel movie like didn't bring in kryptonite, even though the fucking atmosphere thing was almost just as stupid. But
isn't that why he's powerful though? Because of the atmosphere? Isn't that like a real thing?
Like he draws his power from the sun, so like I guess if whatever. I think
so
like I think like a red sun's more powerful, but like our sun's considered a red sun or something, or an orange or something like that. I don't know, something weird. But then the kryptonites, it's just super lame to have him walk in a room. It's like, oh man, it's kryptonite in the tiles. Like Billy May used some special spray and like this kryptonite in this formula. So
I never liked DC as much because their characters are way too overpowered. Like the Flash.
We've had this argument before too.
I know we have.
I think the DC characters are stronger as. Do I want to say as I think as individuals, like the top 7 are better by themselves.
Well, I mean, like the Flash doesn't make sense, or it makes sense, but it's like as a group, as the Avengers, like as the movie, who they had in the Avengers, like there's no I guess the Hulk's overpowered to a degree, but not really, because he doesn't control himself, or I guess he did, but
in the movie, yeah.
But like. They have to take out Superman. That's the only way it can possibly be done, in my opinion.
What?
Like they take out Superman and then
Marvel?
No, like in the Justice League movie, they have to take out Superman.
You're trying to anticipate the plot of the Justice League movie?
Yeah, because I don't know how
it's gonna be like Darkseid. They're just gonna bring in Darkseid because.
Yeah, but do you use Darkseid that early? If they want to do.
I don't know. They're kind of playing catch up, right? So
I mean, I guess
by the time that movie, is it coming out this year?
No, it's not coming out. Well, Superman, Batman's coming out next year, and then
so we got Avengers this year, and then Batman, Superman the next year, and then isn't Avengers 3 like Civil War is 2017, right?
Something like that. That's not Avengers 3.
If they don't pull out a Darkseid right away, then we already have Thanos the next year.
I guess.
So they can't waste like 3 movies. Like, I mean, they can. I mean, it's such a weird scenario because you really think like they've rebooted these. Like they've had Batman. Like Batman was 1989. Mm-hmm. I think that's the first Batman movie. So like it's been done before. Like why do they have to sync up the whole time just because Marvel like skyrocketed in the past 8 years?
Probably.
So they have to keep up right away. They can't just have a plan in place and execute it well. They have to rush and probably.
Now Sony and Marvel have Spider-Man working together, so that's the most popular character is Spider-Man in Marvel. Like based on selling, like not saying he's not my favorite, but overall
he's the most like identifiable, or like people identify with him the most.
Yeah. So it's just getting Spider-Man is just awesome for Marvel, I would say. Even though they
never should have got. I don't know what the hell they must have really been bankrupt when.
I'm pretty sure they were like going out of business, bankrupt.
Because like I would have tried to push like everyone else except like my Spider-Man. Just like poor Stan Lee during that time, man. Like what he was probably like in tears the whole time at like a board meeting.
Well, I'm pretty sure Sony was like huge back then, so they were probably like, "Yeah, we'll buy Spider-Man. That's all we really want."
Sony's not huge now. Like, what the hell's happening? You're talking they're running out of money.
None of this. The electronics aren't doing like because you don't sell as many electronics anymore because everything's like runs so smoothly.
I guess.
Because like 10 years ago, stuff broke quicker.
People still buy TVs.
Yeah, but not as quickly and as frequent as like they used to.
So wouldn't shouldn't like Sanyo and like Samsung and whoever else makes TVs be hurting too?
I'm pretty sure they are. But
Uh-huh.
Samsung also makes phones and stuff, so it's like
So does Sony.
no, I mean like cell phones.
So does Sony.
I don't think
Uh,
so.
I'm pretty sure it was one of the product placements in the Amazing Spider-Man 2, but
I mean maybe, but I
we'll
don't
go
think so.
back and watch the honest trailers when they count it all. But yeah,
Uh,
it is definitely huge. So what's the deal? Like I figured that Sony was gonna get some money out of this.
no,
I
they
don't think
don't.
they're getting money.
They're not getting money. They're just sharing, or they didn't announce they're getting money. I guess is what
Yeah, I can see that.
Marvel's just
Behind
like
the doors thing, or it hasn't been distinguished yet.
they're just sharing like the property of Spider-Man, and Marvel can use them in movies. And I guess
It's basically like making the trade in the NFL draft. You get this guy and this guy this amount of money, and then like some sixth round pick in 3 years down the line.
well, Sony can also use like Marvel's heroes. Like if they can work something out, like they could have Iron Man appear in the movie. Not that they have the money
They
to.
can because that's almost a bigger headline than Spider
I'm
Man
pretty
showing
sure
up.
that's what I was reading and stuff. Like they're gonna work together to try to like if
I
it
don't know
made
why they
sense
wouldn't. Literally, both people would make money. Like both organizations would make money
because they don't want to like
unless like somebody was just horrible and they brought in like who made the bad X-Men movies. Like if they just brought him in for like just all the Sony movies were directed by him. Like I could see that them not making the same money that Marvel would, but like I don't know. It depends on like if they also have to if they're working together that works because they'd have to schedule it around so like you don't have Iron Man showing up twice a year because then it becomes just oversaturated and then they're gonna kill everything.
well they
They're gonna
put
kill
the
both
Spider-Man,
studios.
the new one that's coming out. It's coming out when Thor 3 was supposed to, so they pushed everything back like 6 months.
Yeah, I guess that worked. Well, Thor always comes out in like random times. He's always like November.
Yeah, he was gonna come out like July 27th or something, and now it's like November
Oh,
or
he was gonna
something.
get his summer. He was gonna be a summer blockbuster, and they're like, no, no, no. You get the fuck back to Asgard. Come out in November.
I think people like Spider-Man better, a
Mhm.
lot better. But I don't think Iron Man or any of them will be in a Sony movie. But I think it's like they
If Sony has the option, I'm pretty sure they'd try to fucking.
yeah, but you have to make that like they can't not just gonna be like, oh, let's just put him in there. They're gonna have to have like a plan behind it.
And probably have to pay for it somehow.
Play Robert Downey Jr. Yeah, and that's I don't think they got the money for that.
No, because they'd have to recast somebody new, right?
No, they can use like the Marvel.
So with Spider-Man, Marvel has their own Spider-Man, and then Fox has their own for the other two movies that are coming out or whatever.
No, they're
Not
just
not 3 and 4, but like they have movies coming out just for Spider-Man Sony ones, right?
it's like one. It's just one movie. Like they're working together on one movie.
Oh, I thought it was.
They're
I thought
not,
it was like I thought it was like Marvel could use Spider-Man for like Avengers and stuff, and then they were still Sony was still making their own Spider-Man movies,
no,
so they were gonna recast somebody for that one, and then
they're just recasting it for Spider-Man for them both to use the same guy, and that's why they're going for like a teenage high school kid basically.
yeah. That's what I don't know. I'm always worried about like I don't know. I didn't really know Andrew Garfield, but he's like 33 now or something. And like
Yeah,
he definitely did some decent other work prior to that. So
it's
or
gonna
he was
be
like in Social Network, so that was a good one.
it's gonna be weird seeing freaking a teenager interacting with the Avengers, seeing like a 18-year-old dealing with Robert Downey Jr.
I don't know. You put it in Josh Whedon's hand, he'll make it work.
Hopefully,
Plus,
you don't
that's how
know
it
though.
usually is in the comics. Like I've seen some comics where it was like Iron Man like respecting Peter Parker like after he passes out because like they're both scientific minds, and then like Peter Parker's just like so like innocent at the time, and like Iron Man or Tony Stark's just like looking up to him while also looking down to him. I guess.
Well,
You
because I
could say.
think in Civil War that or Iron Man was on Spider-Man's side. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, I don't know the whole.
Yeah, I don't know exactly. I'm pretty sure that
That was
because
the storyline of Ultimate Alliance too, and then like there was just people everywhere. Like Luke Cage was with like half of the Fantastic Four, and Iron Fist was with
did you
Luke
see that they're
Cage.
making Luke Cage and Iron Fist TV shows or Netflix series?
Why not? They
And
already have like a Daredevil one, a Constantine one.
and all I know, it's I
Was
just
there,
didn't
there
know
were
that.
two other ones too, right?
There's like Jessica Parker or something like that. I don't know. I don't know some of these people like Doctor Strange. I wouldn't know who that was if it wasn't gonna be a
for
movie.
the game. You saw him in the Ultimate
Yeah,
UMBC 3.
I mean I know I did, but I don't really remember anything about him.
Yeah, I still don't kind of really know much about him.
I don't know anything
I put
about.
I put him in the same class as like Reed Richards and Hank Pym. Like I put him up there somewhere, even though I don't think he's that related to it. But
I don't know. It's gonna be awesome. I hope it should be. I can't
what?
imagine Marvel messing it up
No,
like
no.
anything with Spider-Man.
So do they have to like redo his costume and all that?
I don't think so.
Because Andrew Garfield's out,
Yeah, he's.
so they have to recast it, and then like I don't know. I like the suit. I mean,
the suit's very
I'd
generic.
rather see him like actually be able to like, because like the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man was like somehow he had the genetic powers, but like he couldn't web sling with his
Yeah,
genetic powers. He had to make them.
that didn't even make sense though. Like, didn't he get the web slinging like as part of his powers?
I thought so.
That's what I
That's how they
thought.
did it in the first movie,
Yeah, I know.
which it looked gross, but they did it. He had like that white sack on his fucking wrist, and I was like, all right. I'm sure somebody would notice that at some point. But I don't know. So I'd be fine with them like keeping the costume because the eyes they actually fixed the eyes for the second movie. Like first one, he was like I think there was like gray all the way around, but then they put the white ones in for the Amazing Spider-Man 2, and that looked way better, way more kind of like cartoony.
I don't know why people didn't like the Amazing Spider-Man 2, other than they
It was
tried.
shit.
Well, they tried fitting too much in there. I'll admit that, but overall, it wasn't that bad. I like Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man. He kind of got the shit end of the stick on that, but
Yeah, if they gave him like a Josh Whedon script, and he didn't Shia LaBeouf so much, it'd be fine. I think it was just like the whole Gwen Peter thing, which was like it was like super sweet in the first one, and then it just got
well,
they literally broke up like 3 times that in the second movie.
Emma Stone's too strong of a character, like an actor, to have her be second fiddle, kind of. Like even in Zombieland, she was like really good. I thought
I guess she didn't have much screen time in that one though.
it was
Plus,
yeah.
who was gonna steal the show? Woody Harrelson. Woody Harrelson's actually great though. He's been in so much shit though.
I like him in Now You See Me. I don't know if you ever seen that movie.
I saw that.
It's kind of a weird movie.
That was also a kind of plot hole movie.
Well, yeah, but
Mark Ruffalo, Morgan Freeman, Michael Caine, and they
It-
still found a way to
it was just
Isla Fisher,
they just took Christopher Nolan's Batman characters and put them in a movie.
basically.
That was actually really funny. I didn't notice that at first, and then I read it online. I was like, that's 100% true, basically.
You didn't really. I saw it in the trailer. I was like, "Holy shit, Lucius and fucking Alfred working together again."
I didn't really think about it. So what else? There was Flash this week. That was really good.
All right, Flash and Arrow were so much better this week than last week.
Yeah, we didn't get to talk about the last week's episode,
'cause
which is
we
probably
said- Ugh,
probably a
yes.
good thing.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of why I didn't want to do the podcast. First, we felt behind, and B, it was just I was like, "What are we going to talk about? The bad episode?" And I'm not going to be too enthused about it, but yeah, what did we see in Flash? Flash was Firestorm.
Yeah,
Firestorm centric, and they actually made Ronnie really kind of cool. He played that really well, like the dual character thing.
that must be hard to do. They made Wells actually like give up his like seem like he cares about like the people like Caitlin and Ronnie and them.
Well, the guy was going nuclear, and he said to Gideon the computer, she's like, oh, it'll delay your timeline and whatever. He's like, there won't be a timeline if the fucking city gets nuked. So
Yeah, but even if
I guess he's kind of caring, but I feel like, well, I had some idea while I was watching that, like, I still feel like he's working for like the future Reverse Flash or somehow, even though we saw him run.
There was 2 Reverse Flashes though. Like there's like an Edward. The cop is supposed to be a Reverse Flash. And
Yeah, Thawne or Eddie.
Yeah.
Thawne. I don't think it's Eddie in the comics. I think it's somebody else.
It's like Edward or some weird.
But then I could play some whole genetics thing or something like that.
Well, people think that like because there's like a Doctor Zoom or Von Zoom, I don't know what the fuck his name is, Reverse Flash, and then there's the Edward Thawne one, and people are saying that they're like mixing them up, which probably just so it's not obvious.
Yeah, which I'm fine with. I don't
The show's I think the show will suck without Wells in it, or maybe not suck, but he's a really good actor.
they'd have to replace that dynamic with something. They'd have to bring in like I don't know. At the rate that Felicity's going right now, like maybe Felicity will just like not be on Arrow
Yeah,
anymore.
I don't see that happening.
No, I know she's definitely like end. I don't know if she's Endgame though.
I liked how Flash
People are
had
gonna be
like a
pissed though
had
if
like a
they.
new girlfriend this week that wasn't fucking
I
Iris.
liked her. The actress was good too.
Yeah.
And that whole character dynamic. The what I could have done without was the instant
Oh.
Iris just moved in with her boyfriend, yet she's upset. I don't know, like I don't know, is that a typical girl thing? Like,
Fuck if I
'cause
know.
it seemed like she literally sabotaged the. She didn't do it like intentionally, like she wasn't really direct about it, but she literally ended up sabotaging the entire thing like immediately.
That girl gave it up to Barry like first second
Jesus,
night.
yeah, I know, and he fucking buckled too.
The directors might not know that's not how it works in real life.
Cisco was so funny in that too when they were doing when
Oh
they were,
yeah.
like, talking about the sexual innuendos before that. He's like, "Am I the only one that like? Am I the only one that can see this problem? Like, I don't. Do I
That
have to
was
spell it out some more for you?" Dude?
that was really funny.
I was cracking up, man.
I next week though, I think it's supposed to be time. They're supposed to go over time travel, or not go over, but I think like
They're gonna tease it.
no, I
Or
think he fights like the weather guy or whatever, and I guess they think that he's gonna like accidentally,
the weather guy from the pilot.
either him or like his brother got like the same thing, I guess, and I
Oh.
think that's gonna like cause him to go back in time, which is weird, but I guess that's what they're gonna do.
Is that why Firestorm's alive?
I don't know, maybe.
Because I saw a thing where like Caitlyn's at the scene where he went nuclear, and like he's fine.
Well, I think after he blew up, he just like I don't think he died because
So
of
is it
that
gonna be
thing.
like the Speed Force thing? I don't even know if the Speed Force can do time travel.
I have no idea.
I just know that in the animated Justice League, like Flash went so fast that he like disappeared and went into like some slip space like thing, and like he's like I'm in the Speed Force, and like I think it's like I think it's like heaven for like speedsters or something like that.
I'm not really sure.
So like he essentially I guess he died.
I think it's gonna be weird when they go like if he like accidentally goes back in time. Like, oh, is he gonna be like, oh, this
Yeah,
is strange?
and
How
then
did
what? He comes back and
I,
like is he gone for a couple episodes back in time or something?
I have no idea. It's gonna be weird as hell though.
I can see it kind of doing it too. Like, well, Oliver died. I mean, we have to play catch up with Oliver. You know,
I
he's
was
gone for 3 episodes. So I guess we'll fucking put him back in time for a little bit.
I still think that it was Wells that like went back in time, even though I don't think he checked for the blood of Wells. I think he was just saying like, I know it's not Wells, but maybe he did check. I
What,
don't
the
know.
scene where he was pissed, or the scene where he said he checked
The
him?
scene where he called, whatever Joe, and it was like, I have something to tell you. It was Barry's blood. I don't think he was like, it wasn't. I checked. It was Wells. I think he was just like, it's not Wells. I know it's not Wells. I don't
No,
think.
I think he checked it because first he was pissed about it and he didn't want to check, and then like Wells said something really questionable. Like he was, what was he? He was okay with having
Killing
killing
Ronnie
Ronnie and the professor or whatever.
Steinman. Yeah.
Steiner. Yeah, and then like I feel like he checked it like just for kicks after that, just
I
to
mean,
check.
yeah, maybe.
But he didn't confirm that it was Wells, so he only got Barry. Barry's the only definitive one there.
That's still gonna be weird. Like when they find out that they're like checking on Wells behind Barry's back, that's just gonna be a shit show.
Probably. Time travel is always fucking difficult to do anyway, too. On top of that, let alone the drama aspect. But so well, oh yeah, we got the general coming back too.
I don't even know what the firestorm is. Like I guess because he said get firestorm. Did that mean like go and get firestorm like after he blew
Well,
up or?
I guess the general was one of the ones that like tested on Gorilla Grodd too.
Yeah.
So I think he's into that whole. I think he's basically like X-Men's version of Trask or whatever, like the scientific mutant. Like he was testing on mutants and all that stuff. So like I feel like this guy tests or like creates these telepathic gorillas and fucking whatever the hell the firestorm
I was sad that
warp thing was.
I was so sad the Gorilla Grodd. That was the only good part of that week that we missed.
Yeah, the Gorilla Grodd.
Yeah, that was the only good thing about that episode.
I was like, oh god, is that? First, I thought it was Killer Croc. I was gonna be so happy. It was
That's what
Killer Croc.
that's what I thought when they first went in there too. I was
Oh,
like, is it really gonna be Croc? I was like, I can't believe that.
and then it was Grodd too. They actually made it a decent looking Grodd. Like sometimes the CGI is terrible, but well, no,
It was kind of
Flash has been
dark.
really good. That's what I thought the Flash was gonna suffer at. I thought the CGI wasn't gonna be able to keep up, but it's actually been good.
I read they don't have much funding either, which is weird. You'd think they would put a lot of money into that.
They just get like Flash fanatics working on it. Like I could see that.
Arrow was good this week. I definitely called the island thing, even though you hated me when I told you when you didn't watch it.
I was just kind of. It just seems stupid that he'd like. Well, I'm trying to get in the mindset of where I was when you said it because that was before I watched the episode.
That's what I
You said
said.
it like you said it like right before too, like right before the episode aired.
I think I said it like that day. I was like, I think they're gonna send Oliver back to the island, and Slade's gonna like get released or whatever. And you're like, that's stupid. Why would they do that?
Oh, I think I said it was stupid because isn't Boomerang supposed to be locked up with Slade?
Yeah.
So
I mean,
like, why is where like I didn't see any Boomerang in that? So are Boomerang and Deathstroke working together?
well, he's supposed to like conquer his fear. I think that Slade's more so somebody he fears more than.
So what? Merlin went into that community cage and was like, "All right, you with the eye patch, you're free for the next 24 hours."
He could.
And
What is-
no, Boomerang, you stay.
Well, they're probably in like separate cages. You would think. I don't think
There's
they'd
one
put him.
cage when we saw Deathstroke get locked
I
up.
thought it was like cut off like on the side.
It's just like a fucking horseshoe thing, and like
Yeah, I thought there was like separations.
I don't know,
guess
unless
not.
he went like, cause like who the hell's feeding them? Like maybe they had a construction team in there or something. I don't know. Oh, it's an Argus base, but I
Yeah.
still don't know who. Like, there's no other Argus like facilities on there. So like, what they fly somebody over there every time?
They don't feed him.
They
Fuck
just give
them.
them a week's worth. It's like the end of Breaking Bad, where the guy just shows up every month or so, gives them the newspapers and like everything else, tells them how Skylar White's doing.
They definitely did the Thea thing like completely too quickly and out of nowhere. I think
But like I said, it set up like they needed.
Oh, they
it's
definitely
the storyline for the whole episode. So
they
I mean,
definitely needed to do it, but like
it came out of nowhere.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But
Just
it was also beautiful, so I was okay with it.
at the beginning of the episode when they're like, "We got to tell Thea," I was like, "Oh, that'll be at the end of the episode. That'll be like the tease for next week's episode or something."
Yeah, kind of like how they did the Diggle marrying thing, which was the weak point of that episode. But like throughout, that was the Flaro episode. So like the whole time, like in the beginning, they're like, "Oh, maybe I'd say she was your wife if you were married to her," and then like at the end they got married. So yeah, it could have been something like that, but I don't know.
I figured he was gonna like argue with himself the whole episode and be like, I probably should tell
Yeah,
him,
'cause
but
he
I'm
fought
not.
it all the time.
Yeah.
And then like I was like, all right.
Merlin's like, you should do it.
Maybe
He's
it's 'cause
like,
maybe
no,
it's
I'm
'cause
not
he
gonna
just
do
died.
it.
He's like, you know what? I kind of need to do it. He came back and like I feel like he changed his entire mindset a little bit. Either that or he has like some super secret plan, but I don't.
He
I'm
got
kind of
fucking-
not seeing that now.
He got bitched at by fucking Roy out of nowhere too.
That was funny.
If Roy ever flipped out at me and Alizal, I'd be like, "You fucking kidding me?"
Well, he said that.
Yeah, I guess.
Not that exactly, but I don't know. That was kind of a weak point too. The whole super. I don't know. Like I feel like the Thea character is kind of getting like bounced around, and the whole like I don't know. She's kind of dancing on both sides of like I don't want to say feminism, but I guess it's kind of like that. Like she went away, she became a badass. Like she spilt coffee on her and she was fine, and then now she's back to being like
a bitch.
whimsically trusting people and then getting betrayed and then like hating. Like she turned on her father literally in 3 seconds.
No, that was stupid.
I was like, all right.
I mean, I could see because Diggle thought she was gonna get mad that Oliver was lying to her all that time.
Yeah, and then that never like happened.
Yeah, that was weird. I thought she
I
was.
was like, I
gonna get
really
pissed.
hope they don't do that though.
It would make sense. She got pissed at fucking her mom. I forget. Weren't they like fighting in like season 2?
Well, that's because her mom killed 503 people.
I mean, I guess she was like, "Oh, you saved people to Oliver," and not really. He killed like 20 people in the first season.
Yeah, the show's literally swept that under the rug.
Yeah, just don't worry about that.
But they have to bring it back now because now he's first. Like season 2 was all like, I can't kill anymore. Thanks, Slade. You made me a hero. And then like the whole first half of season 3, he was the hero, and then he died, and now he's like, I have to kill that bitch.
He's not actually gonna kill Roz though.
I
More
feel
than
like he has
likely.
like some plan. I feel Merlin has a plan to try to take over the league, and I think Oliver has some plan to like, I don't know what he's gonna do to like maybe entrap Merlin or something. I don't know.
I think Merlin's gonna kill Roz, and Oliver's gonna like try to talk him out of it. There's no way
But now he
Oliver's gonna.
wants to kill. He's saying he wants to kill Roz.
Well, he's saying he has to kill Roz. There's a difference between doing it and saying you have to do it.
So what? They finally beat him, have him down, and then it's like maybe we should let him live. Put him in my prison.
Yeah, and then Merlin will come out of nowhere and fucking snipe him in the head or something stupid. He definitely has to die. There's no question that the guy has to die. I just don't think
Well, it's Razag. Well, I don't know because are they? I feel like they're not putting the Lazarus pits in it at all.
I heard they have
Or
like
they're
a.
saving it.
I heard they have like a setup for it. They just haven't used it yet.
Yeah, so I feel like he'll quote unquote die at the end of this one, kind of like Oliver did at the mid-season finale, and then like kind of like in Arkham City where you kill Ra's and he falls down, and then you come back later after the Joker fight, and the sword's like I think the sword's there, but his body isn't, or something.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, maybe he'll be back, or maybe he'll be gone for a
Well,
season and
I
a
don't
half
even.
while he recovers.
I don't know who they're even gonna use for like another bad villain after, unless Merlin becomes the bad guy again. But he's becoming like an anti-hero now.
No, well the kid on YouTube said like he anticipates like Merlin dying this, which I can see too.
Oh, he could risk his
I
life.
feel like John Barrowman kind of wants to go do some other stuff.
Maybe.
There's a lot of Green Arrow characters though, but that's what I'm saying. I was like, I really hope they didn't blow their load fucking using Deathstroke in season 2.
Well, they
Even
kind
though
of had to.
season 2 is like the perfect fucking season. Like there wasn't really a weak episode.
As soon as they put him on the island, he like had to be used. Even
That's
though he's
well, yeah, I guess.
I mean, I guess they didn't have to put him on the island, I guess, but I don't know who else was going to be on the island with them.
Yeah, you needed some intrigue on the island.
Yeah.
You would have just had like Oliver running around with Shadow, and like people were like, "Who the hell is Shadow? Who's Freeze or whatever his name is?"
I still want to know. Like, it's so weird. It's funny that this week there's going to be flashbacks of him in Starling City while he's on the island.
That's gonna be interesting too. I wonder if they're gonna bring Tommy back. I haven't checked IMDb or anything, but I wonder if Tommy will make a
Maybe. I still don't like how they like said the messages got deleted. Like,
yeah, that was kind of weird.
It's like
That literally just mean the only way that I can see that is they literally tiptoed across the Queen Mansion and like hit the button to delete the message.
Yeah, like it seems very unlikely.
They had to like screen the other calls to make sure they deleted the right one, and it'd be really weird.
They were sitting in the room checking them off. It's like, oh nope, that's just Thea. Next one.
Yeah.
That'd be so funny.
Thea got arrested again for cocaine possession. Like, oh god.
That'd be so funny.
And then they have like, imagine if they try to like film it after that, and like Moira notices that the machine's not like blinking red; it's just like a flat red color, and she's like, and she just shrugs it off and leaves. I've never seen the answering machine do that. But yeah, I guess that was, you got really upset about it. But I mean,
it made no sense.
it's weird. They just had to cover it up, I guess.
Well, I feel like they're just like they're trying to swerve people too much. I feel like because they're saying like, oh, Maseo switched out the things and she must have known and some stupid shit like that. Because
she could have known.
Yeah, but think about it. He stole the thing from Amanda Waller, and then he like didn't tell Oliver that they were gonna go give it to that China white guy or girl. I guess it's a girl. And then like that was the twist there that like, oh, we didn't really like. I don't. It was just stupid. I didn't like it.
I don't know. I can see Waller taking the precaution like that.
I guess, but weren't
wasn't he upset about his wife like before that? Didn't he like confront Waller for not saving her?
I think so. I
So,
mean, I guess
I don't know.
it kind of makes sense.
I don't know. She's always thinking. She's like super mean. she was kind of all right in season 2.
I don't even. I'm intrigued to see how Oliver and her get on like the same. Like, I guess they're not on the same page in present, but like they deal with each other.
Yeah.
You think after like what she did to him, that he'd be pissed.
Yeah.
I want to see how she dumps him back on the island because that's gonna be funny. It's like, wait, enough of you back to the island.
I'm wondering what they're gonna do like after it's way down the road, but like after the 5 seasons, are we even gonna have flashbacks? Like I don't feel like it's gonna change the whole. Because like, what are they gonna? Are they gonna do like the Christopher Nolan thing where they just like, you know what? I made my Arrow series and it's done. 5 seasons, we had the plan, we executed it, boom, done. Or they got like, if it's successful,
If it's
I see them
successful,
trying.
they're gonna stretch it out as far as they can, but that could make it bad.
Yeah, how I met the typical How I Met Your Mother fan.
Well, some people didn't like that show to begin with.
You know,
No names.
third, what you?
Yes.
The whole 30 minute like show versus the hour long one. It's like they're night and day.
Well, you can't make a comedy an hour, really. I mean, you can. It's harder,
That's what they call stand up.
I guess. Because isn't Brooklyn Nine-Nine an hour?
No, it's half an hour.
It's a half hour.
It's more
I don't know.
condensed. That's what I'm saying. It's either condensed and like quick everything, or it's like a drama and it's an hour.
That's true. Well, this is going on for like 30 something,
Really?
35. So I think that's the end of this podcast for this week because we were aiming for 20 to 25 minutes, but it's better than last week. I think, or the first week, I think
Damn
it
it!
was like,
Damn it, Peter Parker.
I think the first week it was like 45 minutes or like 50
It
minutes.
was like
Something.
38 or something.
Was it? Oh,
Yeah.
well. This is still a good like average
I
to get.
capped a bunch of like COD stuff to like put out over it, and like I stopped at like 32. I'm like, that'll be enough. Nope, had to loop a little bit more.
All right, well, we will be back next week doing a podcast. We're still trying to get our other friends involved, but they're annoying and gay. And gay. And I'm going to send them this part of the video where I call them gay.
Just on loop.
All right, we'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.